Just want to make a quick video. I'm not sure where this is going to go, but I'm not trying to offend anybody. This isn't directed toward anybody at all. Like, I love everybody. This is with nothing but good intentions. This is just food for thought, my philosophy, but valid points. I mean, something people should look at. Questions a person should ask themselves, I believe. I've asked myself. But basically, the title of the video is Unconscious Christian, right? Because what's interesting to me is how, like, I used to be Christian. Like, I used to not claim to be Christian, but we all start off fundamentally with Christian beliefs. Like, even if you're not religious, like, Christianity made claims to the fundamental, do's and don'ts of this existence, like the natural laws we have within us, the love and nature that's within us naturally. Religion's already made claim to all those things, right? So all of our perspective, typically, fundamentally, like our default programming is from a Christian perspective, right? What we think is right and wrong. That's how it goes, in the West, society, whatever. So I I've had many debates with, not debates, discussions with many different people, Christian people, and some people genuinely, try their best to answer all the questions I have, and I'm genuinely just looking for a sincere answer, like trying to understand why I should believe Christianity, and it's every time, and I'm not saying who am I to judge, and this isn't all Christian, well, this is all the ones I've debated so far, pretty much, not debated, but even talked to. They always regurgitate the same, they always refer to a certain verse in a certain chapter of the Bible. And so what they're doing, I'm assuming unconscious, because what they're really doing is they're saying, I believe in the Bible because the Bible tells me to. That's what they're doing, right? And so, in time and time again, I ask, every question I ask is coming from a place of understanding. I'm not doubting. I'm actually trying to understand, because everybody, expects me to be Christian, and I'm trying to find a reason. And so, every answer I get from these people, it just opens up another question. And I'm really good at asking questions, right? Like, the answer must first be in the question, right? The answer you're seeking must first be in the question that you ask, right? I'm very good at asking questions. And so, because I genuinely want to understand, and every question, answer leads to a new question. Well, the people that actually, stick it out without trying to attack my character, whatever, they end up admitting that they just believe, they just believe in the Bible. They just do. It's just faith, and there is, there's nothing past that. The Bible was created in such a clever way. You have to either take it or leave it. Like, you can't validate the Bible outside of the Bible. You have to take it or leave it. And then, of course, the threats in the Bible, if you choose not to believe it, are terrifying, literally terrifying. Like, there's so much emphasis in the punishment that will happen to a person within the Bible, that right there just automatically was a red flag for me. Like, why would the gospel have so many threats of punishment if it's the good news? But anyway, so where was I going? So yeah, basically, a lot of people, they fuck, what was I saying? So yeah, a lot of people, they just flat out, they believe in the Bible because the Bible tells them to. And so I've always just been like hoping to find a person and be like, I believe in the Bible because this verse in this chapter, it gives me strength. This certain verse in this chapter, it helped me to see this situation this way. This certain part of the Bible, it helped me understand this about myself. I believe in the Bible because of this. This is why I believe in the Bible. My own words. I would love to hear that. That would be great. Which I know is possible. I'm sure there's some people that do, but that's why I say this video is not for that crowd, because I don't seem to know anybody that, or even met anybody that can do that yet. But so that's my point. What I believe is my truth is what I find to be true to myself. I've questioned myself from every different angle, you know, about what I choose to share to be my truth, or at least my philosophy. Like, I try to, what's the best question that could be asked to that? And I question myself before I say anything. I think we all have an obligation, just as humans, at some point, to understand that we weren't gonna, you don't come in the game. The game is to be, sold, not told. Like, you can't expect that we're just going to start off and everything we're told is the truth, and it's actually the opposite of that. And the Bible, like, I don't promote or support the Bible, but it's very important to understand that there's all the most beautiful truths about this existence and this life are in the Bible. The Bible is it has all the most beautiful truths and everything, but it's how it's being used is my issue with it for the most part. But the reason why it is that way is because the best lies require a lot of truth, so that's why it's like that. Christianity may claim to all the truths that we know naturally, about this existence, so it rings true. People resonate and believe in it for that reason, and that makes sense, you know what I mean? But I feel we have an obligation to really, even within all that, we should question, why do we believe? Why does that make sense to us? Why do we believe that? Can we support that in our own worlds without referring to the Bible? Like that to me is important. I feel like we all have an obligation to find our own truth. But it's so easy to just, remember a verse in a chapter and recite that, and that works, But the thing about that is, when these people that do that, they claim it to be their truth, but they can't support it beyond a verse or, in a chapter. They can't, like I said, I mentioned what I feel like people should do that believe in the Bible, and they can't support it in their own words. So then now what they do is they look at a person who doesn't believe in that because it may not make sense to them, I mean, think about it. It's fucked up. There are people that are atheists, which means they don't believe in a God. But imagine being a person who knows the situation, but this is possible, that the Bible gets introduced to them by a Christian, and I feel like we all have this inherent, we all feel like it's important to believe in something that's true, I feel like we're naturally hesitant, or maybe we just gut feeling, if something doesn't make sense to us, we don't exactly commit to it, So imagine a person the Bible being introduced to a person by a Christian, whatever, and it doesn't make sense to them, so they don't take it in, So now, not all, but there's a chance that now this Christian is going to look at that person, probably even tell them, or make sure that they know they're looking at them this way, as if that person's going to hell, because they don't believe in the Bible, because it doesn't make sense to them, right? So now this person who doesn't understand why they should believe the Bible is being looked down upon by this person who's claiming to be a child of God, who's claiming to be a representative of God, who's claiming to be all holy as a Christian, whatever, and doing God's work in the name of Jesus, all this stuff. Now they're looking at this person, knowing that this person is looking down on them for not believing in something that they just don't understand, right? So then, why would you believe in a God if that's the type of impression you're getting from a person who's claiming to be of God, right? So it's kind of fucked up when you think of it that way, because the truth, like I said, like people, like a Christian, like they'll see someone who doesn't believe in them and they want to pray for them, and what they're really doing is they're saying, in my eyes, you're going to hell. That's what they're doing, and they feel like they have an obligation to pray for you because you're on your own way. You're off the path. You don't think like them, so you're in trouble. And so they think what they're doing is right, but they don't. It just shows they don't understand they're subject to the trap of Christianity, because they don't understand that how this life works. They don't understand that they're projecting their creative energy. They're portraying this person in a light that their creative energy is shining on that person in that light, right? Depending if that person chooses to believe them, it's even worse. But a real Christian, a real child of God would see that person and say, this person is confident and comfortable in their beliefs. They're fine. I don't need to pray for this person. They may not believe like I believe, but they're confident, they're comfortable, they're happy in their beliefs. They're fine. There's no need for me to pray for them. My beliefs don't apply to them. But that's not the way that it works. So now there are people that literally don't believe that there's something conscious of them 24/7. They don't believe that they're never alone. They don't believe that because they don't have a reason to. And I'm not saying that's why all people are atheists, but it's a good assumption, because Christians really do that. They basically say, you're subject to what I believe, and what you believe doesn't matter. And it just doesn't work. It's absurd, really. And that's why I think Christians are unconsciously, living this life. Like, you can't be aware of that. Like, you can't, I believe in the Bible because the Bible tells me to. They're not conscious that that's what they're saying when they say, when their defense to the Bible is this verse in this chapter. They're not conscious that they're really saying, I believe in the Bible because the Bible tells me to. Because that doesn't make sense, right? Much love.